Well, you're not supposed to hit the mic. Welcome to Evolve Network. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Evolve Network, the last
Yeah.
show before the new year.
What a freaking year, dude. Like, holy shit. I mean, we were just talking about it. Like, I can't believe you said just the way you said it. Like, you guys, like, no, like, this year's really bad. No shit, dude. Like,
But I mean, you don't realize like the order of things that happened that led up to COVID. It's like, I mean, usually there's some here and there. There's some good stuff, right? There's some cheery shit that will get you in the mood. Like, I mean, we also like Christmas didn't feel like Christmas, but like, there's one bad thing after another. It's just like,
yeah, my mom sent a meme to my wife the other day, and it was like, it was 2021 talking, or 2020 talking. No, that's what it was. It was all of Earth talking to 2021. It's like,
right.
Look, you got one fucking job. You can't possibly fuck it up worse than 2020. It's like, it shouldn't be that hard. Don't touch anything. Just don't touch anything. Just let the year go. It's like so true. It's like makes you think like, what was life like before, right? I think last like October, November, December, I was dealing with like a bunch of crap at work, like some stupid harassment shit. And then I was like gonna go to home base, and then I got paused, and then like I hurt my neck, and I'm like, man, life really sucks. And then the pandemic happened. I was like, I'll take the fucked up neck and all that other stuff over
Yeah, that's right. I'd rather take a hurt injury or something other than this whole year of just a big blob of COVID. So
I'm at least trying to stay consistent, my friend, with breaking my ribs. Like I think that was I'm a big fan of consistency. You know what I mean? I just figured I'd roll right into 2021. It's just as fucking bad as I was leaving 2020.
I mean, is there anything that's not broken on you at the moment? Because
dude, my social worker was with Brian. I broke my ribs just walking down my steps. The steps have been my heavyweight champion for the last few years. They've taken me out a few times. I have wooden floor. I had socks on. Next thing I know, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm looking at my shoe size like, oh shit, I'm going for a ride. This is about to suck.
Right.
Yeah, and I of course, all of you idiots give me the same comment. I probably heard it like 20 times. You're going to get you a bubble. You need a bubble. You need a bubble, Sean. Sean, you need a bubble. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, Brian, we can't hear you, brother. Did you mute yourself?
Now can you hear me?
Yeah. Now you're live. There you go, buddy.
I hate this microphone. It's funny that you say, bubble. So my paintball team, we all have nicknames. My nickname is Bubble Boy because I've had so many concussions over the last year and just get hurt all the time. But now it's like with 2020, it's like
right.
I kind of want to get hurt. Like I want some kind of normalcy.
No, you don't want to get hurt, bro. We don't want that. None of that.
That's like some of us. Well, that's the thing, right? Like family for me around the holidays is usually like a pain in the ass. Like some of us usually don't want to see some family members just because of all bullshit, right? And this year I was like, I think I kind of want to even go see people I don't like. I just want to see someone.
Right. Yeah, I got you. It's like I don't like you, but I haven't seen anyone, so I'll settle for you.
Yeah.
Like I hate your fucking guts, but hey, you know what? I haven't seen the people that I actually like, so if I can settle for you, I'll settle for you. That's it.
No, did you ever play professional paintball, Brian? Like, don't you guys don't have to wear helmets and shit like that? I mean, I have a couple friends. They got the speed trigger guns, all that shit. My friend Steve in Kentucky used to be big into it.
So right now, I'm ranked in Division 4. We play on the NAXL in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I do play like the 5-man with the electronic trigger. Actually, mine's a magnetic trigger, but 10.5 balls a second, so forth, so more. It's crazy out there. People just look at it like, and they see like the big balloons, right? They're like, oh, you guys are soft. You play with balloons. When those paintballs hit those balloons, you can't hear shit. Nope. And you're trying to communicate with teammates, and all you hear is bong, 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 bong. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
They hurt too, you know what I mean? My friend Steve, they did the transition. My friend in Kentucky, he played semi-pro paintball, and they traveled and stuff. He loved it. And then, family, kids died down, and then his kids got older, and he was like, holy shit, airsoft. He went to where they filmed Shawshank Redemption. They shut the prison down, and they went and had a tournament there. He said it was one of the coolest things they ever done. They had, shut the lights off. You could lock people in some of the cells. I was like, that shit's pretty cool. But I had a kid one time I was playing paintball recently. He froze the paintballs. And I know because I could feel them when they hit. And then
yeah, but I thought you couldn't. I thought they didn't freeze anymore.
The new ones don't freeze anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Really?
Yeah, the new ones don't freeze anymore. They're made of like vegetable oil or something like that. Like colored vegetable oil.
Gotcha.
They're not water based anymore. They used to be water based, so people would throw them in the freezer. And the thing was, the shell was so hard back then too that the shells wouldn't expand. If you take a bag of paintballs right now, you throw them in the freezer, your paintballs are gonna expand to the point where they're unshootable.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah, they stopped that. The new thing right now though is pepper balls. There's a company out in California who is selling fucking pepper balls, and people sneak them into fields. First off, pepper balls are illegal in Massachusetts. You can't own them.
Right.
Unless you're a police officer, you can't own them. And I've been shot by one like a couple times, and to the point where I found out who it was, and I literally laid an entire hopper on him from like close range. Because
good for you.
I poured a thing of milk on my face one day. I'm just like, can't see. Shoots me in the mask, and things just right up my face.
Some of those auto breathers, those masks too, man. I bought a couple of them. They still fucking fog, and I was like, "This goddamn," you know what I mean? But I got pretty pissed when I got hit with that. I was like, "Oh, we're freezing paintballs now." Yeah, just like you said, like I'm gonna find out who that is. Like that's game. That's fight words. You know what I mean? Here to have fun.
100%. It takes the fun out of it too. Like when people try to like make jokes of stuff and bring stupid shit to the fields, it's it takes the fun out of it, which sucks because paintball's fun.
Have you ever thought about making the transition to airsoft? I know that some people are just into it just as much of that as paintball.
I probably won't. I mean, the field I go to has airsoft, and I'm gonna look into playing once or twice. It looks really fun. I just don't really like the guys. I think it's just a group of people that go that just turn me off on it. It's like, they are like, they took like 4 or 5 paychecks and went to Bananas and fucking just bought a bunch of like military shit. And they're like head to toe. They got the fucking helmet. I'm like, that helmet ain't gonna do shit. I don't know why you're wearing that fucking helmet. It's 120 degrees outside, but you're wearing a fucking helmet. You're wearing this full fucking sniper suit.
Right.
Yeah, we had a couple matches where it was like, and we were all in the Marine Corps. We all served, whatever. It's all good, but we're there to have fun. We had our camis on, we had our guns, but like, yeah, there were some people there that were like, all right, squad A. And I'm like, dude, I'm not. This isn't. I'm not playing war games here. Like, I'm just here to have fun.
I had one airsofter one time go, "Oh, that's cute with your little toys and stuff," and I'm like, "Toys? Come out and play with me, and we'll see about toys." I was like, "You, none of your airsoft guns, unless for some game you're allowed to play automatic, you are not pulling the trigger as fast as I am." So
right, yeah.
I mean, you got double triggers on a lot of those.
Oh,
too,
I just use the one finger. Mine is a longer trigger, but I just use one finger because, for the most part, right, like in tournaments anyway, like on rec days, I'll probably bring like a mechanical gun, just a spring-loaded semi-automatic paintball gun. But like on like event days, I'll bring out my I got a Field 1 Force. It's a magnetic trigger, and when you start shooting, the first 2 shots are 1 ball. After the third shot, as long as you have a good rhythm, after the third shot, it shoots out 2 more. And it continues to shoot out 2 more as long as you keep pulling the trigger. Now, and I think I've been clocked once at like 15.5 per second.
Sorry, but technical difficulty. I don't know. I didn't even press. I swear to God, I have no idea.
Oh, you fucking kill the middle of a story like that.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't know. That's my bad.
You didn't want Brian to keep talking. You just
I was going to the comments, and I went to hit the comment, and it popped up. I have no idea what listen.
I got it right here. I don't see any comments. Oh no, I got one.
I was putting the comment up. I was like, "What the hell was that?" I went to go hit comments, and all of a sudden, it came up and played. I'm like,
I mean, that takes timing, though, right? With that second trigger, you have to get used to that. That's all feel and time and time. And
time 100%.
Yeah.
So
100%.
If you don't mind, I want to segue from paintball to hockey.
Oh, jeez. Yep.
Yeah. So our captain, our faithful captain, we're all Bruins fans here. Big Z, Zdeno Chara, is going to be a Washington Capital. So this is the video he left us today on his Instagram.
I'm fucking bummed.
I'm not afraid of challenge. I'm willing to lead by my example of hard work, dedication, discipline, drive. I decided to sign with Boston because I really believe this organization want to turn things around and I want to be part of it. My heart is in Boston and I'm so grateful that I have these people in my life. That's always going to be a place we call home.
No, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw that today, I found out the news. I got choked up. That got me choked up.
Dude, Zdeno Chara, you know, like I grew up playing hockey. My kids play hockey. My dad's a hockey coach, travel the country for hockey, blah, 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 blah. Right? Hockey is that one sport to me that just, I've had season tickets. I love all sports, Celtics, fucking Sox, you name it. But hockey is that one sport I've always loved more than anything. I make jokes about it. People are like, why do you like hockey? And I'm like, well, it's the only professional sport where you can violently assault someone at 30 miles an hour and just some guy dressed up as a zebra just comes over and goes, hey, grown man, just take a 2-minute timeout.
Yeah.
You settle your differences on the ice, and every time they try to get fighting out of it, they don't. It comes back, and the sport's better. And it just, my kids love it. My family's into it. That guy, I know that he should retire. I know he's probably going to come back here, and he's going to get retired here, but I just wish he either retired or they just gave him that one more year because he fucking changed the way that the city was and that Bergeron came. And the guy's just fucking solid. You know what I mean? That bummed me out too when I heard it.
Yeah, big time, big time. I know the last couple of years people have been on him hard because he's obviously every year he gets older. But more than just being the top defenseman, he's a leader in that locker room. He's got major heart. He leads that locker room every day, and he sets example. Like his workout regimen is crazy. It's crazier than Tom Brady's.
He does 43 pull-ups still, dude.
Yeah,
one whack. Like the guy's a savage. He does a lot for charity in the community. You know what I mean? It just sucks, But I mean, he was getting slower. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was getting beat on some of those breakaways for a while, for like 2 years. You know what I mean? It's like
I just feel like with COVID going out this way just sucks. Like I wish he could have had a regular season, and the way it should have ended before COVID ruined everything, the momentum, and shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, I wish him the luck. I hope he does well with the Caps, but
dude, they're gonna do good.
Yeah.
But I mean, they might not do as good as people think because you got to remember they used to have who's that defense with all the tattoos went to freaking Dallas, Texas, assistant captain down there, Mike, whatever the hell his face. He was a nasty defenseman when Ovechkin was there, and they didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, where were you 2011 for the Cup? I know I was with this guy right here. I was with Brian watching the game.
2011 for the Cup. Yeah, I was with my wife and some of my friends, I believe, at Doyle's in Jamaica playing.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter was just barely a baby, and we're sitting in my place that I was renting at the time. We're watching the final game. We're like trying to cheer, but not be so loud. Yeah, so we don't wake up Charlotte at the time. She was like a couple months old. So
You know the other hockey, the 2 hockey games I remember I was watching around, I don't know, that time period years ago, was those Olympic games. That Olympic Canada, that overtime game, right? And then I remember that morning when I was watching TJ Oshie smoke 6 fucking penalty goals in a row. I remember that.
That guy didn't come off the ice. It was
Yeah.
what was it? Team Russia versus
Yeah.
USA, and TJ Oshie took every penalty shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? But on Zdeno Chara though, like if you talk to me pre that him going to visit the kids in the hospital with the bunny suit on, like before that, if he did this before that, I wouldn't care. Like you can ask Phil, you can ask anybody that I worked with back then. I hated Zdeno Chara.
with a passion.
I was a huge Patrice Bergeron fan. Loved him. I thought he was the heart and soul of this team. Like I just looked at Chara and was like, he doesn't deserve that C. And I went to Game 1 in the 2011 Stanley Cup playoffs against Montreal. We were here. Game 1, we lost 2-0. And Zdeno Chara, there was one play where he stayed back in like in their zone, and he's just like pinning Pacioretty to the ice, just like when he hits somebody and they fall. He's done it like 100 times. He just like stands over and he keeps them down, pushes them down. But the problem is we were already down a man as it was. So now it's a 4-on-3 in our zone, and they scored their second goal. And I remember who was on 98.5. Oh, what is it? Damian Mendelara, the DA show.
Yeah,
with the big teeth. That guy had fucking biggest teeth.
Oh, he had a horse mouth.
Yeah.
I remember going. I texted him. This is back when they would read the text. I texted him and I was like, Zdeno Chara needs to get rid of that C. Like he's not a captain and blah blah blah. And then for some, I don't know what happened, but he grew on me to the point where him leaving today is just like, thank God the bars are open. at least he did it when the bars are open. I still say fuck Tom Brady because he left when the day the bars closed. So he can retire a Buccaneer. I don't give a shit on that one.
Oh, we can get into that.
Hold on. Go ahead. This is a perfect segue. Let me just. This is a local comedian, Ian Brownhill.
Good friggin' morning from New England. It is not even 2021 yet, and my blood is boiling like a fat man in the sauna, all right? I've had it up to here with everybody and everything. I already crushed this morning donkeys, so I am ready to go like a redneck on the 4th of July, all right? Let me tell you how my day's been. At the Family Dollar this morning, some Karen holds up the line while I'm trying to get my morning Debbie cakes because she doesn't want to pay $1.03 versus the 98 cents as advertised. Like, hello, Karen, you live in New England. We pay our taxes here. Get your shit and keep it moving. Oh, the Pats? Yeah, they missed the playoffs. Oh, Tom Brady? Yeah, he's breaking records in Tampa Bay. I am ready to walk in front of a Mack truck, eyes wide open, and brace for impact, because that's how I feel about the new year. But let me give you the icing on the cake. Some Jersey plates cuts me off, and what do I see on the back end of his crap box but a bumper sticker that says, "This car climbed Mount Washington." Like, congratulations, jackass. No one cares you know how to hit the brakes and gas up the side of a mountain. I hate that sticker.
Now this guy Ian, you can follow him on TikTok. It's Ian.Brownhill on TikTok. He is fucking hilarious.
Just fucking reach out to him, see if he wants to come on for me.
Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I love him.
He's not lying about the Mount Washington sticker everywhere.
I fucking hate him. Like, good for you fucking.
Did you know I did the fucking 19th hidden trail around there nobody knew about? I don't fucking care. Did you find the one that had bears on it?
I had a dude that I worked with once. He drove a Pontiac Grand Am, like a 98, and said, this car climbed Mount Washington. I'm like, when did you climb Mount Washington? He goes, oh, like a couple years ago. Now, granted, this was like 2013. I'm like, that car did not fucking climb Mount Washington. He's like, oh, no, that one didn't. My wife's car did. I'm like, then why the fuck did your car have a bumper sticker that says that?
I just don't have a desire to go possibly drive off the side of a mountain. It's just not one of my things. You know.
Be a real man. Climb it.
So you don't. Okay. So I forgot what I was gonna say. Right. I'll finish on the Z stuff. Right. I started liking Z after they won the cup. Not when they won the cup, but when I opened up the book that they had after, and I believe it's the preface. It's the preface or the forward or whatever you freaking call that. It's like two pages long, whatever, and it was extremely like heartfelt and shit. I was like, damn, dude, this guy took this shit to heart, you know. So I kind of like that.
So
is it your turn to interrupt?
Yeah, that's my phone. And then okay, so you don't. All right, so you're not. So you didn't like the whole Brady thing?
No, nope. Fuck him.
Why not?
Fuck him. Fuck him. First off,
did you want him to stay?
Yes, or
Me
just
too.
fucking retire here. Fuck you. Like, such a dick. Such a dick. And then it's not like. He's already like at the bottom. There's one motherfucker that's even below him that I wish I can't wait for that motherfucker to get hurt. Rob Gronkowski. Fuck him. He comes out in November last year with this fucking Instagram fucking video. It's like, oh, should I come back? Should I not come back? I'm gonna be at the Super Bowl, but I'm throwing a fucking party. Like, fuck you. And then he comes out of retirement to go join fucking Brady with the Bucks. And the Bucks. Listen, I got friends who are like Tom Brady fans, right? They're only Tom Brady fans. Like, they started watching football back in like 2001 because of Tom Brady.
Right.
They're like, oh, Brady this, Brady that, you know. Oh, look what Brady's doing this year. It took him 15 weeks to break the fucking record with an all-pro offense. Like, that team does not win the Super Bowl this year. It is a fucking bust. But with the fucking talent they have down there, if they don't win the fucking Super Bowl, I don't want to hear about shit. Like,
that's the argument. Is a lot of people say, okay, well, he doesn't have Bill as the coaching. Well, Bill ain't fucking doing shit this year either. Okay, he ain't doing shit. Don't tell me it's the quarterback because he only got to win the game, because fucking the rest of the offense looks like a bunch of Pop Warner rejects sitting on the sideline that could pop on a fucking cocaine test in 2 seconds. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Listen, unpopular opinion, go Bills.
I like the Bills. I'm a football fan. I like. Hey, I like.
I hope they take it.
I like when I want the Pats to win, but like Cam Newton sucks, and you know I like Gronk, but I'm with you. I was getting tired of getting the carrot dangled on the party in Florida and maybe this, and I'm retired. I was like, just whatever, the wrestling, and like screw. But Brady, do you blame him? The guy was underpaid forever. He had one time in his career to say screw. I would have done it too.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, so on the 2020 Patriots, like, Newton's not himself. He's not, you know, he's just a shell of himself, what he used to be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But what a lot of fans are saying, like, get rid of him, put in Stidham. Like, first off, Jarrett Stidham, he sucks. He's not a good quarterback. He was bad in Auburn, and he sucks in the NFL. He's not a good quarterback. So if your best case to win, your best chance to win is playing Newton. But at the same time, we have literally 4 wide receivers who couldn't start on the fucking Marshfield Hurricane semi-pro football team. Never mind in the fucking NFL. Like, N'Keal Harry.
Is that the women's team? I think it is.
N'Keal Harry fucking sucks. Like, our best fucking receiver is, and I don't even know what his first name is, fucking Bird. I don't know if it's Demetrius, or whatever his fucking name is.
I think it's Demetrius. I thought it was Myers, but what? They all suck. They suck. The team suck fest this year. Suck.
So you have a quarterback who didn't play pretty much all of 2019, comes in late to camp, fucking mid-July, with one of the most complicated offenses that he's learning on the fly, with a shitty fucking offense and no tight end. But you know what? It's all Cam Newton's fault. He sucks. You put the kid in because he'll do better somehow. I don't understand.
I would rather. I mean, they suck so bad now. I mean, Jesus Christ, he had a game where he had 69 yards. It wasn't from throwing the football. I think it was just from fucking snot rockets. I mean, it was so combine less 300 yards in 3 games. Put the other kid in. What could he do? Throw an interception?
Right.
Yeah, but the Patriots have some options this offseason. They got a bunch of salary cap.
See, I haven't paid attention to that. Do we? Where's our place in the draft? Are we just gonna fucking redraft for a fucking whatchamacallit bar and a bag of popcorn again in the fucking 75th round? Be like, look at the value we got.
No, I think we're gonna go for. All honesty, I mean, I don't really like outside of the top 2 quarterbacks, which is Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Outside of that, they're all kind of hit or misses. They're just a bunch of subpar Matt Staffords and whatever. Right. I mean, they're starters, but they're not going to fucking do anything. So,
you think they'll trade for somebody?
I think either trade for somebody or get someone in free agency because there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be fucking released. The Jets are going to release Sam Darnold. He hasn't shown much, but he's also had fucking Gase as a fucking head coach his entire career. I mean, the kid was good as a Notre Dame fan. Notre Dame plays USC every year. Sam Darnold was a good quarterback.
I mean, you put one pile of shit with another pile of shit. It's just a bigger pile of shit.
I agree.
But moving forward.
No. You don't tell us. He was something. Cut this our guest off twice. Oh,
you got Carson Wentz, who's going to be fucking something. He's
gone, I think.
Let's see. I don't know.
Stafford. They keep saying Stafford. I would like to see. I like Matt Stafford.
I just think he's another Band-Aid though. He's too old. He's towards the end of his career. Why get a guy like that? Get a guy that you're going to build around. Hell, Sam Fran's not happy with Jimmy G. Bring his ass back. For fuck's sake, Bill loved him. So
I would.
Back.
I would. I was thinking about the other day. They kept talking about. I was like, if that's your best option, it works. Bring him back.
What's left on his current contract?
I think 1 year.
Yeah, he's got they have a floating year to play with. I think that's why they're talking about it.
Right.
And they're not doing good, so they're gonna have a good draft pick. So, they're probably looking at the kid from Alabama there.
They need another quarterback too because Nick Mullins looks. I mean, I know a couple of people down at the psych ward at the VA that could probably throw a fucking ball better than him. That guy sucks. All right, Philip.
All right, now Phil, you can move on.
The reason why Brian is here, he coaches football. All right, for Weymouth, and you said something about a spring league coming up.
Yeah, so anybody in or around the area of Weymouth, if you live in Weymouth and your kid already plays football, and you didn't register for the 2020 season, I want letting you know that we are planning on having a spring season. I believe it's going to start end of February. I could be wrong. Go to May. Problem is a lot of kids play baseball and lacrosse, so it's definitely gonna butt in with that. But also, any parents who have been on the edge about letting their kids play football, especially tackle football, because of the concussions and getting hurt. This is the perfect time to get them in there and see whether or not you like it. It's gonna be more. It's still gonna be football. We're gonna coach it up. We're gonna play the we're gonna play the 8 games, but it's not gonna be a prolonged season. Typically, you got 8 games plus playoffs.
Well, now what's the age group?
So I coach They're seventh grade. They're seventh grade right now. But it goes all the way down to like third and fourth grade. So
Yeah.
it goes from third and fourth grade all the way up to eighth grade. But any parents who are on the fence, I like to say is, all the coaches, every single coach on my staff and below and higher, they have to be USA Tackle certified. We also we go through a men's training with Hawks Tackling, which Hawks Tackling is best known for the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
And everyone's parents' first thing is, they're one of the hardest hitting defenses of all time, and how can that be safe? Well, go back and watch how they tackled. They didn't just drop their head and just smash people inside of the heads or just blindside people. Like, if you go watch how that championship football team played back in whatever that was, 2010 or whatever it was when they won the Super Bowl, and even after that, the whole time that Legion of Boom were together, and even now, like, if you go watch Pete Carroll's tackling, like how his team tackles, it's all about aiming for the hips, the drive for 5. He'll come in, you drive through the hips and you carry your man 5 yards. Like, do they play physical? Yep. Do they play hard? Yep. But they tackle right, and they're one of the least injured teams on the defensive side of the ball in NFL history. Like,
interesting. I didn't know that.
Not just right now, but NFL history, one of the least injured teams ever. So we are all very highly certified. Like, and I do, and a lot of the other head coaches do. Like, we're very disciplined. We like to, show discipline to the kids. Like, if there's a kid out there just looking to hurt somebody, like, and you can tell, like, there are times where, rapping and driving is not like, you can't do it. I get it. But if you're head to head with somebody and you just absolutely clobber them up high, I'll sit you. 100%. Doesn't matter if it's in practice or in a game. I'm sitting you. Like, you need to. We're not out here to hurt people. So
that's how it was when we were younger. You know what I mean? I played football when we were younger. I loved it. Played linebacker. I was also the kicker because I played soccer my whole life. So there was 2 of us that could actually kick a 40-yard field goal.
Wow.
The guy in front of me was 2 years ahead of me, and he ended up getting a scholarship to Syracuse. I ended up finding my friends in the woods partying, and there goes that. But you probably saw this video, and this kind of goes to what Brian's saying. Is like, that stuff didn't fly back then. Doesn't fly. Dirty play doesn't fly now. And not a lot of people do it, and that's why it doesn't fly, because once everybody sees it, like, everybody on the field's got it, then it's a problem. But I'm sure you saw that video recently of that kid that got kicked out of the game, and he tackles her. Dude, that guy's ribs were probably broken. I was paying attention to the distance he flew in the air. It was like 4 to 5 yards.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, that kid just blew a college scholarship. He blew everything, and he should.
Yep. You're talking about the kid from Texas, right? The kid that smashed the referee.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe that. Like, can't believe that. I always say to the kids, like, I've sat kids who've talked back to the referee, like, don't say a word. Yes, sir. No, sir. That's all you say. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You got a problem with something, you come to me. I'll deal with the referee. Like, I've been this close a couple times being thrown out because I go, like, I tell the kids and I tell the parents, listen, these kids go to war on Sunday, and I will go to war with them. Now, I'm not going to go out there and give an elbow to a kid or whatever. But if the ref makes a bad call, I'm going to call him out on it.
Right.
And I'm going to want him to explain it. Now, if I know it's a bad call, I'm not going to go out and say that's a bad call, blah blah. I'm just going to go, hey, sir, can you come talk to me? Come talk. Nope, just come talk to me. Don't even just come talk to me. And when I know they made a bad call, do I give him a little bit of an attitude? You damn right I do. But so this league that I coach in made a new defensive rule, right? It's called defensive false start.
Yeah.
Right. So the defense can no longer jump off sides and come back.
Oh, okay.
And the reason for it is because youth is supposed to be more fundamentals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to keep penalizing kids, not only is the offense not going to get the reps they need to get in, but the defense, they're not going to learn from what they're doing. So instead of a 5-yard penalty, but let the play go, it's the whistle blows. It's the same thing as offsides, right?
Right.
Same thing. Now I sat in on the referee meeting last year, and I the guy was like, "Any questions?" I go, "Yeah, I got one question. Like, I need to know, like, if a player is lined up offsides, is that considered a defensive false start?" He said, "No." Like, so the play will continue, correct? He's like, "Yes." There was one game in Brockton. I ran I think it was a reverse or something. My wing back went up the hole, good 20 yards downfield. All of a sudden, the whistle blows. What the hell's going on? I look at the ref. I'm like, "What's going on?" It's like, "I don't know." They sit there and talk. The ref comes back to me. He goes, "Defensive false start." I'm like, "False start? Nobody fucking moved." I'm like, "What are you talking about, false start?" He's like, "I don't know. You got to talk to that ref." So I went. So a ref, you only have from the sideline to the numbers, pretty much, right? Well, no one ever specifies what numbers, right? So I went from my sideline to their numbers to talk to that referee, and I'm like yelling at him. I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "Oh, he was lined up off sides." I'm like, "So he was lined? Did he jump?" And I think I said it like 6 times. Like, "Sir, did he jump?" He goes, "No. You literally just took a touchdown away from us. So I need to know. We're down by 2 touchdowns. I need to know what happened." So whatever. Like, I am going off. Like, we went 5 minutes of this. One flag already went 15 yards. And I'm sitting there and I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. And I felt bad because I'm in front of all the parents and stuff. But, like I said, I'll go to war for these kids, like 100%. Like, if they're getting screwed, I'm not going to stand for that. So the ref then decided to switch sides, stand on my sideline. And I'm like, that was such a bad call. That was, you guys need to you guys need to know your job, blah, blah, blah. And
I
always stand like on the field. Like, I'm on the field. I'm never on the sideline. I'm on the field, which every coach is always on the field. Like,
right, yeah.
And he goes, "Coach, if it's gonna be a long day for you," and I'm like, "No, sir, it's gonna be a long day for you."
Get out the yellow stuff. Get out the yellow stuff.
And he goes, Coach, you got 5 seconds to get off the field. That was the fastest 5 seconds I've ever heard. All of a sudden, the flag goes. It goes bench foul, 15-yard penalty. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. This is getting out of hand now. But all game, I was in his ear. All game, I was just in his ear.
We've come a long way. Like, I've hockey coached like 3 years. My son, he's only 9, but like how hockey parents are.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like I had some issues, dude. You know what I mean? Like, good issues. 99.9% of the parents are amazing. There was like 2 I was gonna cave their face in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Anyways, then I got hurt and I couldn't coach, but like I missed it. I was telling my wife the other night, I'm like, I'd like to get back into coaching. Some of what I do for work is like I have to deal with a lot of families, right, and the kids. And dude, it's such a good feeling when you get to like empower a kid to do something that he wouldn't do, or like they take those little steps of confidence, and then they end up loving a sport and become fanatics like my son is with hockey. You know what I mean? It's like the coolest fucking thing. You know what I mean? Just being a coach, I definitely miss it. You know what I mean? So I commend you for doing that, because it's one of the most rewarding things that people don't understand. It's like you get a shitload of stuff out of it too, for you too. You know what I mean? It's like makes you feel good.
It's really cool. I love coaching. Like, So I started my
Like
coaching.
I teach martial arts, right? I teach people martial arts. I have students.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
Kids in martial arts. So a friend of mine does that. He coaches at the Situate Rec Center. He coaches kung fu. Oh, the kids love him. They fucking love him, and it's awesome. I like seeing that. Coaching's just it's so much. It's so gratifying, and in so many ways. Like, so I started coaching in Plymouth, right, and my first two programs have been winning programs. Like Plymouth Vikings, they've always been a winning program. That's where I started. That's where I played. Then I coached in Marshfield. Everyone knows Marshfield. You know, they state championship every other freaking year. And then, I went to Weymouth, and coaching in Weymouth was different. Like, the parents treated the kids like they could do no wrong. So, and I'm not saying all parents are, but there were some that oh, my kid's not this position, so let's make a big deal about it, and whatever. Which sucks because it takes, not only does it take the fun out of coaching, right?
Right.
It just takes it takes the love away from the kids too. Like,
dude, that was my problem with his dad. He didn't understand that the look on his son's face when he would come to the rink was changing like rapidly. Like he was going up to the bench. I'll give you $100 if you score 10 goals. You better score 10 goals. You better score. And I'm like, you need to knock it off. And then he comes in the locker room and he's got a camera. I got 2 young girls on my team. The kids are all getting dressed. Now, obviously, the girls all have they got shorts, they come pre-dressed and they're Under Armour shit. But motherfucker, get out of the room. You didn't fucking come and ask me if you could. You creep. 7 years old, he went to a fellow parent's house because there was a town cup, and he wanted his son to play goalie all of a sudden. He went to the parents' front door at 8 p.m. on a Sunday. I was like, thank God it wasn't my house because I would have knocked him out, detained him, called the police. I had it with that guy. Like, that's the type of parent I was dealing with. I was about to lose my mind. I was like, this is going to go bad. I have a lot of injuries. Why don't I just stop coaching for a while with this guy? And then he ends up, as you know, he lives in the local area. He gets kicked out of one town, then he got kicked out of another. Now he's kicked, he's ruining it for his kids. Like, it's not even about his kids anymore. You know what I mean? And he has no clue. Like, my dad was a hockey coach, and my brother and my dad don't talk about hockey. Obviously, I was different. I was a better player, so he had me on Metro teams, and I went up whatever. But my dad always told me I can't coach you. You know what I mean? And I made it a point with my son. He's a goalie. I didn't know he was going to be a goalie. Like, all of a sudden he's diving in front of the net and this, and I have him play out, and he's still diving in front of the net. And I'm like, okay. And then we have him in goalie school, Mass Crease, right down the street, one like professional NHL goalie school. And the kid he just loved it. I made it a point, especially when he has a bad game. I don't get mad at him ever. Yeah. A goalie has to forget a shit game quicker than anybody else. You know what I mean? And we've had ice creams when he's lost. Like, he had a team that had no offense. He's like 12 goals, like 1-12. And then he's had games where he's 7, 8 years old, stopping 39, 40 wrist shots, and like people from other towns are like, does he want to play for our program for free? And I'm like, that's great. The game's over. I'm taking him to go bowling. He's a kid. The percentage of kids that make pro sports is so minimal. I want to know if my son, at the end of the day, says, Dad, I want you to be my best man at my wedding. That's what matters to me. If hockey's a part of that down the road, cool, but that's his decision, not mine. Right. I'm not going to do what my parents did to me with sports. And I think a lot of parents lose that, and they should focus on that rather than,
they get caught up and live through their children because they wish they could still play.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
And then that's where, then I'll let Brian go, but that's where Brian was alluding to. Like, that's where he runs into parents coming up to him.
Yeah. Well, they definitely do. Like, so I had this one parent, right? Actually, pair of parents. It was one kid, 2 parents. So they were in 6th grade last year, and going all the way through, their son was always the quarterback. And as he grew, pass plays turned into run plays. Like, I would call a pass play. he would just tuck it and run. Like he felt more comfortable running. And we had a new kid come in, out of town kid, from Hanover, came to Weymouth to play quarterback. Now this kid goes to QB camps and stuff like that. And I told him right off the bat, I'm like, listen, I have a quarterback, I have a backup quarterback. In order for you to start, you have to beat them both out.
Right.
The pressure is on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
First week of camp comes by. My starting quarterback, first week of camp was the starting quarterback from the years past, right? He's getting the reps with the ones, and the other two are splitting reps with the twos at the time. I mean, it's first day of practice. I'm just putting in the ones that were ones last year.
Day one.
and finishing it in. But I think it was like Wednesday, right, of the first week, and I knew one quarterback was going away the next week, because he's a Boy Scout and he goes away to camp for a week, right?
Right.
I knew that going in. Like, I knew that.
Yeah, just bring your football with you and throw it while you're going.
Right. And then the kicker was Wednesday or Thursday. It was like the second or the last practice of the first week. My QB1 comes up to me and tells me, "Oh, by the way, me and my family going on a cruise next week." What? I was like, we're in the middle of camp. Like,
How old?
These kids are 6th grade. I was like, your parents didn't tell me that, and you didn't tell me that. So what the hell? So whatever, this new kid who has a cannon for an arm, like 6th grade.
I was gonna say, tell me he's awesome and stole a position.
He throws 40 yards easy. The problem was nobody liked him.
Oh.
The kids didn't like him, and they didn't like him because he started for a team that he doesn't live in the town.
Right.
And my starting quarterback, I'm a firm believer. Starting quarterback, if you are QB1, you are the leader of that offense. You are a captain, like captain.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind, you're a captain. So I named him a captain, and I named 4 others a captain. And apparently, parents had a problem with that. So whatever. First game, we played Braintree, and we lost by like 2 touchdowns, right? Now, as a coach, as a youth coach, right, I could care less if we win 8 or if we lose 8. All I care about is if these kids are having fun, 1, and 2, they're learning the game of football. That's what they're in there for. They're not in like. Of course, the parents are up in the stands like, "Oh, I want some wins." Blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, you want wins, then if you're not helping, then shut up. But I run a pretty simple offense. I run the wing tee, and every high school in Massachusetts, for the most part, runs the wing tee. So these kids need to know the terminology. They need to know, the positions, the holes, all kinds of stuff, right? And so week 1, we lose to Braintree. Week 2, we go to Natick, and Natick is like, in that league, they're a powerhouse. Like, we're talking like one of the best teams in the state of Massachusetts. Like, I don't know why, but they are.
Mm-hmm.
We go up there, and I watch film. I'm a film guru. So I sit there and I watch film all weekend. I know what kid goes where. I know, who their good players are, who their bad players are, who we need to expose, who we need to, all kinds of stuff. I tell my defensive coordinator, hey, look, number 11, he gets the ball 90% of the game, right? I want my inside linebacker, I want him to mirror everywhere he goes. Of course, he threw that out the window, right? Like, he's like, no, I'm just going to stick with my defense. I'm like, I'm the head coach, but okay, screw me. Anyways, so I stick with my starting quarterback, right? Go in, we go down, and then I put in my backup. Now that QB1 from the year before, like I said, he likes to run the ball.
Right.
So what did I do? I'm like, you know what? He's too good of an athlete to keep him on the bench. So I put him at wingback. I'm like, he's going to get the ball almost every other play at least, right?
Yeah.
Thought he'd be happy with that. I came home after that game. We lost that game 40-7. We got slaughtered, right? Now, the week before, my old QB1, he lost an uncle. He came to practice one night. Eyes are all puffy, and I'm like, you don't have to be here, dude. Like, go home. I get it. And, as a guy who lost an uncle, like an uncle who I was close to, I knew what he was going through. So I pulled him aside. I showed him the picture. I said, hey, this is me. This is my uncle. He passed away. Like, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Your parents have my number, blah, 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 blah. So we had this flag, right? We let him run out with the flag. So he led the charge going out to the field. And I think I gave him the ball the first 2 plays of the game. Well, I get an email when I get home. And it said, the subject said, to Coach Jennings and to the mayor of Weymouth. So they didn't just send it to me, they sent it to the mayor of Weymouth, right? Started the email off by saying, and I quote, I appreciate what you did for Tyler this past week, letting him run out with the field. But the rest of the email you're not going to like. And it was just, she was calling the quarterback like a wannabe Tom Brady, and he never will be. He's not good. But like this grown woman, right, is slandering a 12-year-old kid. To the point.
What she doesn't understand is she's showing the mirror how much of an asshole she is, not you.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think this calls for a red flag.
Oh,
red flag on the play.
Stop telling that. She's gonna get pissed, bro. I'm telling you, something like that. Dude, that's funny. That's funny.
Like, but their son took their attitude. Like, I'm talking, this kid was one of my favorite players on my team.
Right.
By far. I loved this kid. Like, I always looked at him as like a little brother to me. And, when his uncle died, I was on the phone with my mother on the way home for practice in tears, just talking to her. And I'm just like, I just feel so bad. And just for all that, for the not even a week later to get that shit, I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I sent texts to the father. I'm like, listen, if you guys need anything, please reach out. Like, I'm here for you. Me, the whole coaching staff, need some time, whatever. He's like, oh, thanks, coach. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he is so, like, he'll talk shit about a coach through his son, right?
Oh.
Never say anything to a coach.
Wow.
Never.
Yeah.
The mother will only send emails. The end of that first email was, I am not interested in going back and forth. I do not want that certain coach to be on the coaching staff, and I want a change in quarterback. And if you don't, then I'll have to take legal action. Like,
really?
Wait a second. This is youth football. So whatever. So Weymouth has a code of conduct rule, right? It's a bullying rule. And I am very strong about bullying. I've lost a friend due to bullying and shit like that. Like, I take that seriously, right? So the code of conduct, a parent signs it and the kid signs it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the parent and the kid get 2 strikes and they're out. And everyone's like, well, it's baseball, right? 3 strikes. Well, the first strike, the first warning is you signing that piece of paper. Right? So she is not only bullying me, but the other kid. I don't want to punish the kid,
Yeah, it's not his fault.
So I showed it to the president of the league, and I showed it to the president of Weymouth football. I said, listen, this is what's going on. It was okay. And then at the end of the year, I was hearing things.
What a fucking idiot this lady is. I'm like amazed at the stupidity.
He was picking on other kids. And he was doing it because he was calling him coach's pet, blah blah blah. And he was like, I guess a thing happened at Legion Field where the high school field hockey team was practicing at Legion Field, and him and a bunch of other players were calling them lesbians and stuff like that. Like, They were banned from the high school games, and I spoke to him. I suspended them for a half a game, some of them full game. I was like, this can't happen again. And So the banquet comes around. That's the end of the season, by the way. The banquet is the end of the season, not the last game. The banquet, when you return all your equipment, we have our last hurrah. That's the end of the season. Right.
Mhm.
How far from this incident to when the banquet was?
2 months.
Okay.
2 months.
That
But she
time-
continued
that
to
time to
send
simmer.
emails. Yep.
Yeah.
She continued to send emails, right? So the banquet comes. All banquet, after the banquet, we're standing around, I'm cleaning up. This kid keeps coming up, Coach, I'm playing for Quincy next year. We're going to go play for Quincy. We don't want to play for you. But I'm like, I don't care where you play next year. Like, do I want you back? Yeah, sure, I want you back. But if you go play for Quincy, go play for Quincy. You know, you got to get ready to play us. Like, I don't care where you play. And he's like, oh, but you know, this team sucks. And I'm like, you know, whatever. I don't care. Like, you know, good for you. Now, the banquet ended at 6:30, right? We got kicked out of the Pond Street place at 6:30. Like, doors are closed. So now it's January. I'm standing outside with 4 kids waiting for this kid's mother to come pick up all 4 of them. She didn't show up till 7:15.
Whoa.
The father was there at the banquet earlier in the evening. I don't know where the hell he went, but he left, right?
Left your kids there. That's good.
You went to go have a couple of soda pops.
So as the kid was getting into the car, they're all getting into the car, he turns around, 12 years old, by the way, in front of his mother, goes, fuck you, Coach Jennings. And I'm like,
you know what, dude? Nope. Okay, that's it.
So we sent out an email saying that, listen, you know, I sat down with the disciplinary committee, which wasn't much of a disciplinary committee, if you ask me. They were like, oh, well, you know, kids will be kids. I'm like, they have this piece of paper right here. What, you know, we're not going to abide by this piece of paper, I guess. You know, we're just going to let these kids walk all over everybody.
Well, come on, kids will be kids. I mean, I remember playing hockey growing up. We ever did something like that, you're done. You know, there's no 3 strikes.
If I ever told my coach, fuck you, Coach, not only would I be not playing on that fucking team no more, because the coach wouldn't let me play on that team, my mother would kick my fucking ass.
Oh, my father would have beat my ass completely.
My dad did a couple times, and I deserved it.
The mother kept telling her, you don't have to listen to Coach, because respect is earned, it's not given. But I have no fucking kids. I don't even live in Weymouth. I live in fucking Hanson. And I'm coaching in your fucking town for free.
Yeah.
Like, out of my own fucking time. Like,
you didn't know you're the problem, dude? You're the fucking problem. You didn't know? Come on.
But we sent out an email, right? And we're like, hey, you know, as of right now, your accounts are suspended. You can come in. We can have a discussion. And we can move forward from there. Of course, she doesn't want to have face-to-face contact, because for multiple times I said, excuse me, ma'am, do you want to have a conversation? And she would just ignore me. So, nope. Now she is suing the president of Weymouth Youth Football for harassment.
What a crazy, wow. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Nutcase.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is children's sports we're talking about.
It's ridiculous.
Fucking dude, I had to stop one of those hockey tournaments we had. It's a really big tournament for a lot of the young kids down in the Cape. It's called the Lobster Pot.
I know all about the Lobster Pot.
Oh, yeah,
dude, it is so much fun for the kids. The parents have a good time. Everybody has a good time.
Oh, and yeah.
I had that parent down there that I had that issue with, and it was the end of the year, right? And my son, at this time, he's playing goalie. I'm the assistant coach, my nephew coach, my friend Joe. Love him. Kids, he's awesome. All the kids love him to death. And whatever, you know, we're having a good time. And you know, I've had my run-ins at this point many, many times with him, and the league's been told, and he's been talked to by the league. You know, like Brian, you go through the appropriate channels. You still have those parents that just still don't really fucking care about the rules. They just think they can do whatever they want. Yep. And I turn around, and it's a championship game, and our friend's wife, Lisa, she's like, "Hey, can I just on the bench real quick take a picture of my son when he's on his ship?" Yeah, fucking Lisa's aces, like one of those moms that helps with the team, cook stuff, this and that. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, just you gotta get off. She's like, yeah. like 2-3 minutes or whatever, and then I get on my back. I'm like, what? Just want to take. He was waiting, right? I go, dude, you can't. He goes, well, she's on the bench. I'm like, fucking cocksucker. Okay. I go, one photo off. He goes, all right. Go do shift change. There was a penalty. We scored a goal. Someone stopped play, got hurt. Like a minute and a half go by. Boom. Shift change again. Whistle blows. Play. I turn around on the right. He's in the middle of the bench. He's leaning over. He's tapping the kids on the shoulder, grabbing water. And you need to. I'm like, off the bench. Now, mind you, I'm very calm at this point, and I've already had many almost blow-ups, and I didn't. And I was like, guys, stop. I'm letting you know. And the league looked at it, and they were like, this is out of control. Oh, yeah, he was kicked out of twin leagues. Like, they had I didn't know at the time they had a problem with his other child. It wasn't the child, it was him. And I'm like, you got to get off the bench. And he's like, well, she's on the bench. And he gives me the face, gives me the attitude look like, now we're in an argument while I'm trying to coach the kids in a championship game, dude. And I go, Greg, get off fucking bench. It's just like that. And he goes, you can't talk to me like that. Now, mind you, at the time, I wasn't as calm as I am now. This was like 3 years ago, and I wasn't properly medicated, and my PTSD shit was going through the roof, and I was just a violent asshole at the time. I was like, and I screamed as loud as I could, the whole arena heard me, if you don't get off the fucking bench, you're going one of two ways in front of your son while your face is on the glass or on your own. Beep. I didn't know I was so loud. I was Sergeant Carnell again, that the ref was like, what's going on, and blew the whistle in a fucking hockey arena with like 400 people there. That's how loud it was. Boop. Come over, he freezes. I'm like, the league comes over. Oop, they see him on the bench, and I didn't have to say a fucking word. I didn't have to say shit. He was banned from the next game, and then he was kicked out of that league subsequently because he apparently wasn't just doing it with me. He was doing it with his daughter's coach. And,
right.
You know, I don't know, maybe it's me, you know, and Brian, you know, it's a question for you too. Like, I don't go messing with people. I don't like to be messed with, whatever, but like, I don't know how. I think where I struggle sometimes in those situations is like, how do you not know you're being a fucking asshole, creep, douchebag guy? Like, how do you not know when you keep poking and the look on my face? Do I look like someone with a 200-pound Great Dane service dog that says, come fuck with me? I'm quiet and I mind my own business. Really, guy? You know, he just wouldn't. I came to practice 5 minutes late one time. I called my coach. I was like, got out of work, and he was telling me how he was a coach. I'm a coach. I coached for 15 years. I coached this team, that team, this team, that team. Dude, I came to practice late one time. He was on the ice. I lost my mind because he couldn't even skate.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
That kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
no.
one of them. Thought I was going to bang around the parking lot.
They're the worst kind that they'll tell you to do everything on the book and they can't even fucking skate.
Yeah, I had one of those. Yep.
See you later.
I've gotten, so this is my second/third year as a head coach, and I've pretty much got rid of all the coaches that never played football. I don't want the dad coaches.
Yeah.
Unless the dad knows how to play football. Like if you haven't played at least on the high school level, I want nothing to do with you. And I want proof that you played at the high school level. And if you're older than me, figure it out. Like, I don't care if you're going to go get a high school transcript or something that shows that you played football at a high school level. Like, if you didn't play at the high school level, I want nothing.
Trying to think. I think I got photos lying around, right? You know? Yeah. I wanted my son to get into kicking because it's one of those finesse little things, you know what I mean, dude?
So
same thing with a goalie. I mean, how many people you know are like a fucking hockey goalie?
Oh, right, yeah.
This way, goalies, right? If you get into it like an adult, like not an adult league, but you know the pickup games, goalies don't pay for shit.
No,
because they're so hard to find that goalies play for free. So if any kid wants to play hockey growing up, but they're not going to make pro or juniors or anything like that, be goalie, because
we got lucky. Yeah, we got lucky. The two goalie schools around us, Stop at Goaltending and Mass Grease. Mass Grease is run by Brian Eklund. He played for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, so the USA Hockey, they want 50% of the goalies in the next 10 years. In the NHL, they want them to be American-born. So they're putting a lot of money into it. So all these programs, my son goes to Mass Grease, one-on-one training with an NHL goalie.
Yeah.
It's right down the street, 2 miles down from my road. I think the earth was kind of telling me something when they told me that. I was like, all right, this is too easy. Training 2 miles down the road. Might as well do this.
Right.
Yeah. But, all right. What do you got, Phil? I wanted to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but Brian wants me to get again because I want to get into wrestling and all kinds of stuff.
I ain't working tomorrow, so I'm stuck. I'm quarantined, so there's that.
I'll do another one this weekend. I'll do one this weekend if you want to do one. I'm good.
Oh yeah, we can come back. I mean, tomorrow's New Year's. I mean, I'm not doing anything. So.
Wait, tomorrow's New Year's?
Yeah, tomorrow night's New Year. Tomorrow night's New Year's.
Fuck.
Get your Chinese food order in now, dude.
Yeah, because
call the Chinese now.
I had a couple more videos, but man, if we want to do a part 2 on Saturday night, we can do that.
Yeah, I'll do part 2.
I'm down.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, we'll be back.
The more the merrier, Philip. The more the merrier.
We'll be back Saturday night for another show, and tune in at 7. Do you want to do 7:30? Do you want to go earlier? What do you want to do?
We'll text each other. I don't give a shit.
Some
Just
point
remind me,
Saturday.
I'll forget. I'm so short-minded. I forget shit.
He's fucking well versed on that with me already.
Yeah, I get 2 others. That are like, listen, I get plenty of those in my life.
Sitting there trying to play Fortnite. He's like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "Playing video games because I got no fucking life."
So when I get off here, I'm going to play Call of Duty, yell at people with my friends.
I haven't even bought it yet.
All right, so we'll reconvene Saturday, part 2, and I can't believe it's already been over an hour. It's been a crazy night.
Hey, time flies. Brian, thank you for joining us. I'll see you Saturday, man. I see now that I know you a little bit, like I got fucking questions. You know?
Yeah, get some, write some stuff up, and everybody have a great New Year's. Thanks for tuning in this whole past year during everything. I hope we brought a little fun to your life at some point, during your day. And for myself, Brian, Sean, and Deanna, who's not here, we love you, and we'll see you in 2021.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Later.